Yo guys, what's up? Welcome back to another episode of Competitive Battlin. Today, we're going to be taking a look at Nintendo's most appropriate theme for a Pokemon that they've ever done, Lopunny. Yeah, obviously, basing a Pokemon on a Playboy bunny was very family friendly and kid appropriate, so of course we're going to take a look at it today and see what it does in battle. So let's go ahead and jump in. Lopunny was a Pokemon that just kind of got forgotten about, since Gen 4 up until now, because if you don't already know, it Mega Evolves, so it's actually pretty good now, as opposed to what it used to be, which was very bad. It used to be, yeah, bad, like NU bad. But it's got a Mega Evolution now, and it's actually pretty good. So let's go ahead and take a look. As far as your item goes, of course, you're going to want to go with that Mega Stone, because that's really what it has going for it. Without that, yeah, not so much. So, as far as the abilities, we'll go ahead and take a look at that. Cute Charm, on contact moves, you have a chance of infatuating them, just like the move Attract. And it's okay, it's really not that great. Klutz, it makes your held item, have no effect, so that's really bad. But we'll get to how that can actually be used here on the second set here. Yeah, so your last choice is Limber. Limber, you can't be paralyzed, so that's really not bad at all. Like, that's pretty good. Of course, we're going to be Mega Evolving, and once you Mega Evolve, your ability does turn into Scrappy, which is pretty great. That means you can hit ghost types with your normal and fighting moves, and considering Lopunny starts out as a regular normal type, but when it Mega Evolves, it turns into a normal fighting type, so you'll be able to take advantage of both of those from Scrappy, and it's really not a bad ability at all. So, back to this. While your ability may not matter a whole lot because you're going to Mega Evolve, Limber's definitely the best bet, just in case you switch in on a Thunder Wave or a Nuzzle or, Stun Spore, something along those lines. Just in case you're covered, you got Limber, so you're good to go. So let's go take out or take a look at the EV spread and nature here. So, as far as your nature goes, you have the choice between either Adamant or Jolly. However, I'm going to recommend Jolly to you all the way because speed is very important on Mega Lopunny. Mega Lopunny's already got a great attack and slightly great speed. So you don't need really a whole lot of attack at all. But speed, on the other hand, speed is ever so important. So Jolly's definitely, in my opinion, the better choice, and it's the one I will recommend to you every time. However, Adamant's, I suppose, an option. However, I wouldn't go with it. That's just me. And you definitely want to max that speed in your EVs, and you're going to want to max the attack as well, and throw your leftovers in either HP or, if you're going to pick one of your defenses, I'd say go defense, because you're still a normal type, and you got fighting types that'll hit you, and those are particularly physical. So now that we've got that EV spread down and it's good to go, you don't really have any other choices here. Moveset time. What you want to do is you're going to want to put Fake Out. Fake Out, if you don't know what it does, I'll explain it to you. Fake Out does exactly what this says. It hits first because it has increased priority, and it only works on the first turn. So if you don't use it the first turn you're out in battle, it won't have any effect after that. But it has a 100% chance to flinch. So you hit them, You give them a little bit of damage, and it guarantees to flinch them, so it wastes their turn. And the only thing they really got accomplished is they just took a little bit of damage from Fake Out. But keep in mind, Lopunny's Mega Evolving, and it doesn't get that speed stat of its Mega form until the turn after it's already Mega Evolved. So that first turn, you're gonna Mega Evolve and Fake Out. So that way, next turn, when you go, instead of having a base 105 speed, you're gonna be running off a base 135 speed. And the little bit of damage on the Fake Out's not a huge deal, however, it's certainly helpful. But that speed is the main reason you run Fake Out, so that way, first turn you're not running off that speed. You're basically stalling out a turn so you can run off that speed. So that's the reason you go with Fake Out. And then, as far as your other choices, you're obviously going to want some stab, and I recommend, as far as normal type stab goes, Return is your best option. It gets a base 102 power with maximum happiness, you know, happiness. It's a little annoying to work with, but you definitely get the most damage out of as far as your normal type moves go. And then, of course, you're going to want some fighting type stab, since you're going to be turning into a fighting type, and that's High Jump Kick. Now, listen, High Jump Kick, it's risky because, you know, if you miss, you take 50% of your health. However, it's got 90 accuracy, so it's going to hit most of the time, and look at that base power, 130 base power. You're going to be alright. It's going to miss every so often on that rare occasion, and you're going to cry, but for the most part, you're going to be good to go. And hey, if Blaziken runs it, then Lopunny's good. It's good. It's all good. And, you know, of course, if they're doing something crazy like raising their evasion or lowering your accuracy or something, you might want to steer away from trying to hit them, just because that's a steep recoil damage. But, you know, you just gotta keep that in mind. But as far as its base power goes, it's definitely worth it. So, last slot. Last slot's where you get several choices. You got old Ice Punch, and Ice Punch, great for coverage. Takes out ground types, it takes out, you know, dragon types, takes out plenty of things. It's particularly used for those bulky rock ground types, you know, those guys. The guys that are going to be resisting your return because they're a rock type. Ice Punch. Well, actually, no, high jump kick's there for the rock type guys, my bad. Ice Punch there is for, you know, the ground types. And, you know, those are particularly big, bulky ground types, like, say, Groudon. Something like that. It's just some great coverage, and it also takes care of those ever so common dragon types. Even though Fairy's a type now, dragons are still going strong. So, you know, that takes care of those guys. Takes care of flying types. That's a threat to you because you're a fighting type. So, that's definitely some great coverage you got there. And of course, you got some other choices. You have several choices, honestly. First up would be Baton Pass. Baton Pass, what it does is it lets you switch out, and whoever you switch into gets to keep any stat changes. Baton Pass, you're only going to run, of course, if you got someone else who's Baton Passing into Lopunny, giving Lopunny stat boost, but, you know, keep in mind, Lopunny learns it, and it's a viable choice if you're baton passing a bit on your team. So that's definitely a choice there. Another choice would be, let's see here. I just totally forgot what it was. There it was. Substitute. Had to pull up my little notepad. Substitute. Substitute, of course, if you don't know what it does, is it creates a little substitute. And basically, it takes a fourth of your HP, but it makes a little substitute that has 1/4 your HP. So, the main point there is to use that as like a barrier to protect yourself, because not only if you take a huge hit, it's only gonna kill the substitute and it's not gonna transfer to you. Plus, substitute protects you from all kinds of statuses, and a burn on Lopunny is gonna hurt because it's a physical attacker. So, you know, if you're about to take a Will-O-Wisp, that substitute would be much appreciated, especially since Lopunny has some crazy speed stats, so most likely you'll be able to outspeed him. So you're good to go as far as that goes. And then, of course, those aren't your only options, because that'd make it too easy, of course. So you got a few more choices as far as that goes, and one of those would be Encore. Encore, here, let me spell it right. Encore, if you don't know what it does, is it forces the opponent to use whatever move they just used for 3 more turns. So, if they just use something like, I don't know, they use Substitute, just for example. You force them to continuously use Substitute for the next 3 turns. So, they're basically stuck using a move that doesn't help them, because they've already got a Substitute, you know? And they're going to be setting up more, and, you know, if you kill them. You know, you try and find that move that you want to get them stuck into. Even a boosting move you might want to get them stuck into. Just, you know, if you know you can kill them by the time it's over, if they're boosting, it doesn't matter because you're going to kill them in time anyways. You know, you lock them into, I don't know, maybe recover even. If you're doing more damage than what the recover's giving them, go ahead and lock them into recover, and, you know, you're going to be doing, as long as you know you're doing more than what they're getting back from recover, you're still eating away at their health, and they're not able to do anything about it other than switch out if they want to. So, you know, you just gotta pick and choose what you want to force them into, but as long as you get them on something that you know you don't have to worry about them using that move, go ahead and force them into using that for the next 3 turns, and they're stuck. Their only choice is either stay in and keep using it, or switch out. That's all they got. And then last but not least, Lopunny's last choice, as far as moves go, would be, on this set, I'd say Healing Wish. Healing Wish is a move that basically sacrifices Lopunny. It faints Lopunny, but it revives a Pokemon on your team to full health. So that's really useful, honestly. Sure, Lopunny might die in the process, but you can wait to use it till Lopunny's low on health, and then since Lopunny's got a great speed stat, chances are you can outspeed him, use Healing Wish, and then, you know, Lopunny was gonna die anyway, so you might as well revive your main sweeper in the process. So you've got one of your main Pokemon back. They went through all kinds of work to kill it, and you just brought it back to full health. So, yeah, there you go. And, I mean, that works on your fainted Pokemon. So, yeah. That's a pretty good move. And as far as that goes, those are your choices on Mega Lopunny, I'd say. However, we're going to go take a look at what a non-Mega Lopunny looks like. I'll warn you, it's certainly not top tier. It's about NU. It's probably about where it sticks. But you know, it certainly functions differently. And, you know, if you want to just use it for fun, or even if you want to build a team for lower tiers, you know, there you go. So we're going to go over it. So basically, let me explain how this works. Lopunny is going to go with a, let's see, here it is. Nope. I don't know how to spell. There it is. Choice Scarf. And, you know, Choice Scarf. Lopunny's, you know, already got a decent speed, you know. Why are we giving it Choice Scarf? It's not a great attacker in the first place, so why are we giving it Choice Scarf? Well, we're gonna give it Klutz ability. And I know this is getting weird because Klutz now cancels out the effect of your Choice Scarf. So what's the point? Well, I'll tell you the point as soon as we get into the moveset, of course. First off, before we get into that moveset, we're gonna go ahead and set up the EVs and nature, and on this set, Jolly all the way. The first set was basically Jolly all the way, but you know, this one as well. And then max that speed and max that HP, and then throw your leftovers in defense. Don't even worry about your attack. Just don't even worry about it. And then here's what we're gonna do. What we're gonna do here is we're gonna give it a move called Switcheroo. And Switcheroo, what it does is it switches your item to your opponent. So that Choice Scarf that we weren't using is now given to our opponents, and we get to steal whatever their item is. So on top of stealing their item, we're giving them an item that hinders them, because Choice Scarf locks you into one move. So what you're gonna do is switch it into someone who doesn't want to be locked into one move, and then they're stuck. Say you switch it into someone who's a booster, you know, they got a Dragon Dancer out. Give them Choice Scarf. They can't use their Dragon Dance no more, unless they want to be locked into just using Dragon Dance. Otherwise, you know, the move's useless at that point. So, there you go. Switcheroo. Disrupt your opponents. And then, as for the next slot, remember that Encore I told you was so good about locking them into moves? Well, we're going to go with Encore on this too, because Choice Scarf might lock you into moves, but Choice Scarf gives them the option to pick their next move once you've switched it onto them. So, give them Encore. Guess what that does? You get to pick what they lock into, and then switcheroo them, and then they're locked into whatever you wanted them to be locked into. And alternatively, if you've already used Switcheroo and given someone else a Choice Scarf, the next guy they switch in, you can still lock them into moves using Encore. So, you get a bit of versatility out of that. And then, that oh so nice Healing Wish, that I don't know how to spell, we're going with that too. It'll completely fully heal your next Pokemon that comes in, so there you go. It'll faint Lopunny, but fully heal the next one coming in, so it's definitely worth. And keep in mind, I'd wait to use it till Lopunny's about to die, of course, but if you know you're about to get one-hitted or something, just go ahead and use it, so that way you get some benefit out of dying. And then, last slot, as always, we got a few choices. Baton Pass, of course, is a choice. If, you know, you got your Baton Pass action going on there. Lopunny has it available, so it's certainly useful. However, my personal favorite choice here would be Thunder Wave, because it gives Lopunny not only the utility of, you know, disrupting them with Switcheroo and Choice Scarf, disrupting them with that, healing your teammates, but it also gets the utility of being able to disrupt a lot of their Pokemon with Thunder Wave, you know, have their speed. You know, give them that off chance to not move at all. So, Thunder Wave's nice, and it's my personal favorite for that set, to be honest. And then you got one more move, and that would be Magic Coat. And Magic Coat, I mention it mainly because if you get taunted on this set, you're screwed, because, you know, you have no attacking move whatsoever. And that's why this set isn't NU, keep in mind. But, you know, even for NU, it's a strange set. However, it's all support. So you get a lot of support out of it. Just don't get stuck with Lopunny as your last Pokemon. Of course, you know, you could always Healing Wish, but don't get stuck with Lopunny as your last Pokemon. And then Magic Coat, that'll prevent taunts, that'll prevent, you know, all kinds of things. Mainly for the taunt, though. That's mainly the reason that you would have that there. I mean, it's going to have the added benefit of doing stuff like entry hazards and stuff. But, you know, mainly there for the taunt. You know, it takes care of statuses, but mainly the taunt. So, that about does it for Lopunny, really. There's not really any other options as far as that goes. Keep in mind, Mega Lopunny's actually really good. The other Lopunny, like I said, regular Lopunny wasn't ever good. It's NU tier, but, you know, hey, if you want to use it, you know, it's not bad as far as NU goes, I suppose. You could definitely do worse. So, there you go. And that does it for Lopunny. There's really nothing else it does. So, as always, thanks for watching, guys. If you liked this video, be sure to hit that like button. If you disliked it, be sure to hit that dislike button. And if you want to see when my next ones are coming out, be sure to hit the subscribe button. So, I'll catch you guys later.